Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is Good Intentions, and that's because it's covering a fabulous full moon that we are having this Sunday at 7 degrees of Leo. Leo rules leadership, and it rules the traditional 5th house of creativity and children's affairs, sports, glamour, Hollywood, and even publishing. And so Leo is a fixed sign. It's also a royal sign, so Leos like to be the king or the queen, or they certainly like to be in control of what they're doing, and so they like to lead. And so this is a time with the full moon there when we may see some dynamic leader, which would be very nice since the moon is spreading a lot of light on that sign. However, the good intentions actually come from the fact that there are 4 planets in the air signs right now. And we know that under a full moon, the moon opposes the sun. So the sun is in Aquarius, but so are 2 other planets, Mars and Mercury, the planet of communication. Those 3 planets in Aquarius are being trined by Jupiter in Gemini, and that makes the 4 planets in air signs. Jupiter is about to go direct. It's been retrograde for months, but next week it will go direct, and that simply means that people with very ambitious plans for the future, Mars is an ambitious planet, can be wanting to express themselves, or they can be motivated by what they are calling good intentions, but they can also run into a lot of different challenges. Why is that? Well, you see, Aquarius is a fixed sign where there are 3 planets, and Leo is a fixed sign where the full moon is occurring. So there are 4 planets right there that are opposing each other, which means they could be involved in some sort of a standoff. But there's also a 5th planet in the fixed signs, and that is because Saturn is in Scorpio, squaring the full moon. When Saturn and the moon square each other, it's an indication that parents are not getting along, because Saturn can be the father figure and the moon can represent mothers. And so there can be some disagreements under this full moon, or some challenges about children's plans, or about anything that has to do with a speculative venture. And that's because there may not be enough money. Saturn is a planet of restriction, and it is in a financial sign. Scorpio also rules credit, debt, and taxes as well, so those problems could be on people's mind. And then that Saturn in Scorpio is also squaring Mars, its own ruler, in Aquarius, and the Sun and Mercury there. So even if you had wonderful intentions and very bright ideas right now, and even if you did know a dynamic leader, with those 5 planets in fixed signs all challenging each other, there can be a lot of good intentions, but not necessarily a lot of good follow-through, simply because of the challenges, and particularly the financial disadvantages that can be connected with any new plans right now. However, a dynamic leader could still evade those kinds of challenges by going in a new direction, and that is perfectly possible. So if you want to get away from quarreling with people and you simply want to go on your own path, you could do that if you wanted to sort of take a chance and be in control of what you do. And that is because the full moon in Leo is exactly trining Uranus, the planet of the future, in Aries, which rules new beginnings. And so a dynamic leader, possibly a woman, since the moon does rule women, could turn around and go in a new direction and evade a lot of challenges right now. And that, if that's what you want to do, I think that would be a good idea right now. All right, what does this idea of good intentions mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you can be very lucky right now, and particularly if you have a bright idea or an idea that's ahead of its time, or if you simply are very concentrated on future plans right now, you may get the support of a dynamic leader, and it could be another woman who could back you up right now, Aries. And that is because the full moon in Leo is trining your sun. Since the moon is at 7 degrees on Sunday and Uranus in your sign is at 5 degrees, it's a very close trine, and that simply means that if you wanted to go in a new direction, you may be motivated by good news about children, or perhaps there's a new child on the way, or since Leo does rule love affairs, there could be some wonderful new person that you're very interested in, Aries, or a dynamic leader that may have her own ideas and simply enlist your help. And since you are a born pioneer, you may decide to go ahead and try something new. And I think that that is a wise idea, because conformity is going to cramp your style this year. And that is because the two love planets are in harsh aspect to each other right now. Venus and Pluto in Capricorn are squaring Uranus, the other love planet, in your sign. So you might be disappointed in love, Aries, but you can certainly go in a new direction and maybe even have a new love in your life as well, if you want to. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is simply a time when I think you cannot make any move in any direction. And the reason why is those 5 planets in fixed signs. Well, yours is a fixed sign too, Taurus. And so you've got the full moon in Leo squaring your sun. You've got the sun, Mars, and Mercury in Aquarius squaring your sun, which means that people with very ambitious ideas right now do not want to include you at all, and they won't do that. And also a dynamic leader is not thinking of including you either because of those squares. And Saturn in Scorpio is opposing your sun, which means there can be limited financial resources or higher costs that you have to deal with now. So I don't think in your present situation you can exactly move too easily, Taurus. However, if you were going to think a little bit more long term, you would do just fine. And the reason why is that Venus, your own ruler, is in Capricorn along with Pluto. And since that's an earth sign and so is yours, those two planets are trining your sun, Taurus. And that means that if there is any money around that you've been sort of socking away for a rainy day, or that is in some sort of retirement fund, those long-term dividends could be piling up right now. And if you had a chance to take early retirement, this would be exactly the right time to do it. So yes, I am suggesting that you think long-term, because that would be of benefit to you. There is also the possibility, Taurus, that you could now be attracted to somebody who has a very good reputation and could be a little bit older than you, but could either be very good looking or else just a very nice person, and they would certainly be financially secure. So that kind of love is on your horizon too, Taurus. It's just in your immediate vicinity, I don't think you can make a move no matter what, because you'll be challenged on all sides. But if you think long term, or if you are looking for stability that could last a lifetime, or a love that could last a lifetime, I think you could find it, Taurus. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, remember I said that the reason why people can have good intentions is because they've got a lot of bright ideas about the future, and they can be successfully communicating that right now, because the 3 planets in Aquarius, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars, are all trining your sun, Gemini, where you have Jupiter. And although Jupiter has been retrograde for months and sort of slowing everything down, it is going to go direct next week, and it will stay direct until June 26th, when it finally leaves your sign. So you're going to be a little bit on a roll, Gemini, starting next week. And you could be prodded by people who say they have good intentions. But with Mars in Aquarius being so harshly squared and opposed by the other planets in fixed signs, I would say that some of those people with ambitious plans can be jealous or envious or greedy or financially strapped. And so, you know, they need to press on no matter what. However, they can be very good at communicating with you, and you should listen to other people's ideas right now, Gemini, because there's nothing wrong with you making changes this year. You have nothing to lose. And every time you or somebody else makes a change, there will be benefit, and there will be a sense of relief as well. So I hope that you're open to change right now, Gemini, because you shouldn't just stay in the same place. Jupiter only comes into your sun sign once every 12 years. So now is the time when you need to expand if you can, or downsize and simplify your life. Either way, you will feel some sort of relief if you just make a change right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, I think that you can be a little bit disappointed in love right now, and that is because the two love planets, Venus and Uranus, are both in harsh aspect to your sun sign. And that's because Venus and Pluto are in Capricorn, opposing your sun sign, which means that people in management in large corporations or government agencies are going to be making policies and rules and regulations that you may not like, or you may not agree with, Cancer, or you could actually be dreading changes that are coming up in those areas. And also Uranus, the other love planet, is in Aries, and that is squaring your sun as well, meaning that other people can want to take off in new directions, and they may not want to include you in their plans. They could be sort of trying to break free of something right now. So yes, you can be a little bit unsure in love. However, Cancer, you're going to be very happy and well fortified this year emotionally, because Neptune in Pisces is already trining your sun, and Saturn in Scorpio is also trining your sun, and on June 26th, Jupiter will move into your sun sign. So you need to be a little bit patient right now, and do think about change. That full moon is right ahead of your sun sign, Cancer, and that simply means you would be able to see a dynamic leader very easily. They could be in your close vicinity, or they could be somebody that you already know, and they could be sort of on a roll themselves. And so there's nothing wrong with joining them if you want. And so there could be some opportunity for creativity, or there could be good news about children or sports or entertainment right now. So you just need to be patient on the love side of it. All right, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, the full moon is in your sign on Sunday, and that simply means, despite the fact that there are harsh squares and oppositions because of 5 planets in fixed signs, there can simply be a way for you to get around all of that if you want, Leo. And the reason why is that full moon on Sunday at 7 degrees is trining Uranus in Aries, which is at 5 degrees. So that is a very harmonious trine right there. And that simply means that if you have got your leadership ability, if you've got a well-defined plan or goal right now, and you feel that you're ready to move forward, you could get help from someone else who's got a unique idea on how to make a new beginning. And you could be very open either to following their idea or asking them to follow yours. So that would be just great. Would the money be there right away? No. Remember, there are going to be reduced financial resources because Saturn in Scorpio is squaring your sun. And that means that no, the money won't be coming in right away, but you have to have a good idea first, Leo. And there can be so much light on you this next week that I think you should try to really look your best and be at your best, because you never know who could be watching. And so the world could open up for you, and certainly a door could open up for you, Leo, a brand new door, and I hope you're not going to be afraid of walking through it, because it could be the opportunity of a lifetime. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is simply a time when, even though that full moon in Leo is right behind your sun sign, which means there's a lot of light in the background of your life, Virgo, I think that you're going to be sticking to long-range plans and probably looking over your long-term plans and seeing if there is value in them. So you could be analyzing them or reassessing them right now. You may be pleasantly surprised if you do that, Virgo, because Pluto and Venus are in Capricorn and they are both trining your sun. So there can be someone in management who is looking at your efforts sustained over time and liking them quite a bit and may want to promote you. Or it could simply be that something that you've been investing in for quite a long time, maybe just little by little, but you know, everything adds up after a while. And you could be seeing that a long-term investment or a long-term pension plan is certainly going to be supportive of you later on in life. In fact, perhaps even more than you had counted on. And so that would be good. So I don't think that you are going to be involved in the challenges from people who have overly ambitious plans or who want to be leaders. In the background of your life, you can know someone who is a dynamic leader, or there can be very good news about a child who is moving into a leadership position, or you could know sports figures who are simply, the spotlight could be on them, so that would be good. But as far as you're concerned, Virgo, I think that the more you look long term, the more happy you will be with what you see, because I think you can be very successful. You can be very secure right now. It's just a very good time for you to assess what all that means to you and perhaps rededicate yourself to that. Congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, I think just like Cancer, you can be a little disappointed in love, and that is because Venus and Pluto in Capricorn are squaring your sun, and Uranus in Aries is opposing your sun. So somebody could want to break free, or else there can be rules and regulations and people in management making policies that you do not particularly agree with, but you'll have to go along with all those rules and regulations anyway, Libra. On the other hand, this is a very fortunate time for you, and that is because those 3 planets in Aquarius, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury, are all trining your sun, and Jupiter in Gemini is trining your sun as well, and Jupiter will go direct next week. So you could certainly be invited to participate in ambitious plans that other people have, and you would certainly be a welcome addition to any team. And so I think you're going to get good news, Libra, about different opportunities that can be opening up for you. And even if you are not making a change immediately, someone else could be. And remember, every time somebody, either you or someone else, makes a change between now and June 26th, while Jupiter is direct and trining your sun, you will benefit, Libra. And so they can be small changes or great big ones. You're going to benefit anyway. And so that can bring you a sense of peace and contentment, which is good. So good intentions by other people can be masking a sense of greed or jealousy. And I don't think you're going to need to worry about that, but that means that you should be a little bit careful what partners you pick, Libra. Make sure they're sort of on the up and up. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, just like Taurus, I don't think you've got an inch to move right now, and that's because there's too many planets in fixed signs, and they are all squaring and opposing each other. And you've got 4 planets squaring your sign where you have Saturn, because the Sun, Mercury, and Mars in Aquarius are squaring your sun, which means people with very ambitious plans do not want to include you at all, Scorpio, so they won't. And also, a dynamic leader depicted by the full moon in Leo is also squaring your sun sign and is not in agreement with you about something right now. And it can simply be that I think it's a financial matter that they're not in agreement about. There cannot be enough money around to really support something in the way that you think it ought to be done, or else you might put restrictions on any kind of investment right now, whereas someone else may want to just be a free spender. And so that may not be working out, and that's why I think you can be challenged right now. However, Neptune in Pisces is trining your sun, which means you can get a lot of help and emotional support behind the scenes from people who like you very much. So if I were you, Scorpio, I would not want to get in a fight with anybody this week. It won't do you any good, and all you will be doing is sort of coming up against people. You will not be impressing them enough to win an argument, so I really suggest that you avoid one at all costs. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, this is simply a time that you can be real lucky in. And the reason why is that full moon in Leo is trining your sun, and Uranus in Aries is also trining your sun. So could there be a dynamic leader headed your way, Sagittarius? The answer is certainly yes. Or there can be an opportunity for you to suddenly go in a new direction that works out, but it's got to be done real quickly. And fire signs love to move fast. So I think you're going to be on the move this week, and that it will do you a world of good, Sagittarius. So keep up the good work, and be sure and respond to anybody's suggestions right now for activity, because I know that it would be very rewarding for you. So I hope you do go into action. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is simply a time when you can have all the answers as far as business matters go, because Venus is in your sign along with Pluto. So you can be really on top of being well organized as far as laying the foundation for something that's pretty important right now. So if there are business details to attend to, you're going to do a good job of that, Capricorn, and you can be well regarded for that. So you may be in line for some sort of honor or reward or recognition of some sort for a job well done, and that would be just great. I hope you stick to that right now and don't expand too much further, Capricorn, because there are 3 planets right ahead of your sun sign, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars in Aquarius, and they are being very aggressive. And so if somebody has a big ambitious plan for the future, I hope that you step back a little bit, Capricorn, and realize that you're pretty secure yourself, and this may not be the right time for you to jump off the deep end, even if you do know a dynamic leader. And the reason why is that people with good intentions right now have great ideas, but they don't really have everything in place. They don't have everything outlined and set up and well thought through. And that is the way you like to work, Capricorn. And that is why I'm suggesting that you should be content with what you've been doing and step back from any ambitious plans right now, because I don't think they've really got all the answers. They just have great ideas. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is certainly a time when I think there's going to be nothing stopping you, Aquarius. I mean, you wouldn't slow down even if somebody told you to. And that is because Mars is such a dynamic planet of aggression and energy, and it's in your sign, Aquarius. So you have the Sun, Mercury, and Mars in your sign, and they are all being beautifully trined by Jupiter in Gemini, which is going to go direct next week. What could go wrong? Well, a lot. Remember, there are 5 planets in fixed signs, all squaring and opposing each other right now. So no matter what your great ideas are, and they can be based on almost a fear of not making money right now. In other words, you can be financially motivated to go forward, or you can be even a little desperate, or you can just be mad and want to sort of get something off the ground right now and determined to do it your way. So I don't think anything is going to hold you back, Aquarius. However, you are going to meet challenges. Saturn in Scorpio squaring your sun sign means that there will not be enough financial resources, or somebody's going to be holding on to them. There will be strings on that. So I don't think you're really going to get all the money that you need right now. And the full moon in Leo is opposing your sun. So somebody who is a dynamic leader, perhaps a woman, is not going to be in agreement with you about your ambitious ideas. This doesn't mean that other people won't be, though. So I do think you should put out your feelers, Aquarius. It's just don't expect instant success right now. And that's because there really are a little too many challenges right now, and the main one is financial. And so I think that what you should try to do is not get mad at anybody, but turn on the charm if you can, and go forward anyway and communicate with people. Maybe it's just going to take a little while for you to sell a good idea, but why don't you do that instead of expecting too much right now? Because if you expect too much, you yourself might be a little let down and disappointed. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Oh, Pisces, this is simply a time when you can actually want to move forward swiftly, or you can certainly know somebody else who's got a great idea and has some dynamic leadership backing them up, and you can be all excited about new prospects right now, Pisces. Saturn in Scorpio is trining your sun, which means that you've got some financial backup somewhere, or there is some security somewhere, and you are aspected perhaps to come into an inheritance by the end of the year, Pisces, so that's good. The danger, though, of you getting involved in somebody's ambitious plans right now is that there is the Sun, Mercury, and Mars right behind your sun sign, Pisces. And that means that somebody can be trying to sell you a little bit of blue sky and say they have good intentions, but they could actually, their motivation could be based on greed. There could be an element of danger involved in their plans, and they could be wanting to rush forward too much and end up harming you instead, Pisces. This is a much better time for you to sort of sit out something, because if there are quarrels or strong challenges, if I were you, and if you were asked to participate in them, I think what I would suggest is that you just sort of fade away right now, Pisces, or disappear or go on vacation if you can, and let these people who are challenging each other sort of duke it out without you, if you can. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Just remember, under a full moon, there will be a lot of challenges, but actually, this is a wonderful time if you've got a great idea and you're a dynamic leader to turn in a new direction and give it a try. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.